Hey everybody, it's the Chris and Des show. Oh, we're here. And I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And we're going to talk to you. We're putting 3 of the 4 language films together.
They don't really warrant their own separate Chris and Des show.
And they were our 3 least favorite. The other 2 were better.
Seriously.
Well, we'll talk about it some more. So, Loveless, On Body and Soul, and The Square. Des, tell me what you thought about Loveless.
Not... Okay. Loveless is set in Russia. Oh, sorry. It's about this couple that's divorcing and how the mother and the father get into their own worlds and just ignore their one son to the point where he runs away. Ugh.
And
it was so sad. It was so sad. Everyone putting themselves ahead of this kid. And then he finally runs away, and then they go to look for him. And it's just, it's horrible. I hated it.
I hated it. I don't know. It's one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. And I mean, it's shot fine, blah, blah, blah. But
blah, blah, blah.
The story is so horrible. And here's what I think. Sometimes I think, if this is the only Russian film I'm going to see all year, which it was.
Why would you put that out?
This is the message you're giving. Like, everybody in Russia is a jerk. That's what you get from this message. They all are. The kid is fine, but we don't see him really in the movie. And both the parents are jerks. Even the guy who's leading the investigation is kind of a jerk also. No one is nice to this kid. The grandma is a jerk. Everyone is a jerk. So
except that one organization that helps them go look for their child.
Well, but even the leader of that guy was a jerk.
Yeah.
The one girl was nice. But who knows what happened to her. And so, I don't know. I just hated it. I hated every minute of it.
It was...
pass.
Yeah, hard pass.
And then the next one's On Body and Soul, and that's from Hungary, I think. Yes, I think it's Hungary.
You're going to have to remind me about this one.
So these 2 people meet in their dreams. They're deers in their dreams.
Yeah, I hated this
And they
one
work
too.
together at a factory.
I can't. It's too weird.
And then they go to see the psychiatrist because someone did something. Right? And so they'll go to a psychiatrist, and then they find out they have their dreams.
Yeah, they tell the psychiatrist their dreams, and the psychiatrist is like, "Did
Are
you
you
two
joking?
conspire
Yeah, is it
to
a
do
joke?"
this?" Because, and so they figure out that they're dreaming with each other.
They work at a slaughterhouse, which is so bloody at the beginning of this movie. I wasn't ready for the blood.
Okay, a slaughterhouse is going to be blood.
Well, for one thing, I didn't know the movie was because it's a slaughterhouse. On Body and Soul did not give me any type of indication.
The slaughterhouse movie.
But even like most slaughterhouse movies that I've seen, like that have been even a documentary I saw one time about a slaughterhouse had less blood in it than this movie.
Yeah, this one did.
There's a few scenes where I'm like, oh, that poor cow.
Yeah, it was too weird. Yeah.
I felt for the cows the most in this movie, actually.
And then The Square. Okay, The Square is about this art installation that's a square that they embed into the ground, into the bricks of this of the space in front of this building. And it's supposed to be like, inside the square there's no judgment, or there's
and you're supposed to do nice things. If someone asks for money, you're supposed to give them money.
And so the movie is really about the art director of this museum. It's just another one that's just weird. It was too weird.
There were times when I want to like all movies. I like movies.
I want
to like movies. And there are times when I wanted to like this movie, and there are times when I was like, okay, maybe. And I'm like, what? Anytime that what's her name from Mad Men? Oh, shoot, Elizabeth Moss. Anytime she was on it, I was like, what the heck is this about? She's so weird in this movie. She's so weird.
And that monkey? I didn't get the monkey.
And at times it was supposed to be funny, and I was like, this isn't funny to me.
I didn't think it was, I don't know.
Because I was happy after seeing the misery that is Loveless. I was like, thank goodness there's a comedy in all these. Because everyone's like, the comedy, the square is a comedy, the square is a comedy. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'd watched 2 hours of the 2.5 hour film. I'm like, when am I going to laugh?
I know. I was like, I don't think this is funny. I don't think it's...
And the sex scene in that movie was so weird to me. And no, I'm sorry. It was just, Okay, Sweden. If you're listening, I like you, Sweden, very much. Just said that indication about the country Sweden. I could have cared. It always felt like a waste of time for me watching that movie. That's why I felt like, oh, why did I waste my time watching that movie? I should have watched I, Tonya again. Or Shape of Water again.
Exactly.
Or The Insult, I would have watched again over that. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
How did it get nominated? I don't know.
So Sweden, Russia, Hungary. I'm Hungarian. I love Hungary.
You're Hungarian?
But we just didn't care for these movies. I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
I didn't hate on Body and Soul. It was just a little too weird for me. And the poor cows. And The Square was like, what? I hated Loveless, though. Russia, step up your game. That's what we got to do, right?
No, these
That's
three, we're not.
Pass.
To go. If you're foreign language, you're going to go see,
The Insult,
or
and Fantastic
Woman.
You want to see what's going to win, see Fantastic Woman. You want to see the best film, see The
Insult.
Insult.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. Bye.
Bye.